Can Devin Haney win a rematch against Ryan Garcia? That's the question we're going to be talking about today. Obviously, you guys know about the Austrian. Whatever you guys may think about that, we still have to make our predictions on what would happen in a rematch. Because honestly, for Devin Haney's career, I think if he really wants to move on and kind of get over that hump, no matter what, you guys got to think about it from Devin Haney's perspective. Even if he gets the outcome that he wants from the New York Athletic Commission, this loss gets turned into a W, even a disqualification win or a no contest, whatever the case may be. If it's a disqualification win, that's the best case scenario for Devin. But even if that happens, you guys think that the boxing fans are going to be satisfied with that? I don't think so. I know how boxing works. You know, the fans are actually probably going to go harder at Devin Haney and criticize him because he got a disqualification win, even if he does deserve it. And that's kind of like the sad reality of the sport of boxing. It's not right. It's not the way it should be. But people really want to see him. If the Austrian really did make that much of an impact, people want to see Devin Haney deal with it in the ring. And I think, in my opinion, a positive test is a positive test, but at the same time, I think that Ryan Garcia's power is a really strong factor as well. I think that the left hook has always been something special, and the fact that people are seeing it work against a great opponent, it's like the steroid usage, did it help? Probably, but at the same time, that left hook was always money. Devin was still getting hit with it. That's the bottom line here. But ultimately, if a rematch does take place, and I think it has to, because like I said before, people are going to continue to criticize Devin Haney. There are professional boxers and analysts saying that, you know, Devin has to take that rematch, and I think he does too. I think it's a necessity, and it's essential for Devin Haney's for his career. He must take that Ryan Garcia rematch. You know, if you're Devin, it is essential to your career, because people are going to continue to criticize you, talk down on you if you don't take it. You have to avenge that loss in the ring. If it's ruled a disqualification win, it's just not going to suffice for the boxing fans, and that's just how it is. You know, you can't please all the people, but at the same time, you have to do what you can. You know, it has to come from your heart, though. Like, if you're only doing it because people are pressuring you to, and it's not because you actually want to get that win back, you know, in the ring, in war, then, you know, you shouldn't take the rematch, because that means you're not mentally there. I hope that Devin Haney has a similar level of confidence. I don't think it'll be possible for Devin Haney to have the equal level of confidence that he had going into the first fight, but that's because, you know, he took a beating no matter what. You know, Austrian included, a beating is a beating, and I'm not saying Ryan Garcia shouldn't face repercussions. He's probably, you know, people are talking about a 2 to 4 month suspension, and I'm like, what does that even do for him? Even a 6-month suspension doesn't really do anything to Ryan Garcia. But no matter what, I always have that opinion. If you guys have been watching this channel for a while, I appreciate it, and you guys would know, if you've been watching the most recent videos, that I personally think that Ryan Garcia is going to continue to be a star. He's just reached a level of superstardom and celebrity that is, I don't want to say untouchable, but I don't know another way to describe it. When, you know, people stick by you even when you're breaking rules, and let's be real, no matter what, even if Ryan Garcia didn't intentionally do it, there was Austrian found in his system 60 times the limit, so that's allowed. So, and I do think he should face repercussions, but at the same time, he's at such a star level, like he's such a draw, to the point where people in boxing are making too much money to let this kid just, you know, fall out of the way and, you know, become a ghost in the sport and fade off into the sunset, because they need him still. Boxing still needs Ryan Garcia to make big fights, and the truth is that Ryan Garcia is a cash cow in the sport. So it's not surprising me that a lot of people are taking Ryan Garcia's side, because it's like, why did influencer boxing get popular? Why are we seeing these YouTube fights that, you know, boxing purists, we don't like to necessarily watch those fights, but, you know, you might turn it on because it's something to watch when there's no real boxing going on, because these guys are high profile. Like guys like Jake Paul, they have celebrity fan bases. Kids follow guys like Jake Paul, and they want to see him fight guys like Mike Tyson to see what's going to happen. The whole combat sports world wants to see that. So Ryan Garcia, he's a legit boxer though, and he has that elements of superstardom. So, you know, people like to talk about Jake Paul. Ryan Garcia is the real star because he actually can box, and at the same time he does carry that level of, you know, superstardom at the same time, but he's been doing it. He's a 16-time national champion and a well-decorated amateur. So for people to still be saying that Ryan Garcia is not a real boxer, like, you can't really say that anymore, especially with what he did to Devin. No matter what, I think that maybe, you know, Devin Haney can definitely win a rematch, but it's just the power that really concerns me. It's just like the same thing with guys like Tank and Shakur. It's a good matchup. You know, I definitely want to see that fight. I don't know how to pick a winner, but at the same time, the power is just too much of a factor in the sport of boxing for me to ignore. So I'm always gonna pick the puncher, especially when it comes to these two fighters. When it comes to guys like Tank and Shakur, it's just, as good as Shakur is, and it's still a 50-50 fight for me, but if I had to lean one way, if I had to bet my money, I would bet that within that 12-round duration that Shakur would land something. The same way I was saying leading up to the Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia fight that I picked Devin, but he would have to get, you know, through those 12 rounds. I said Devin's gonna win if he doesn't get caught with the hook, and that's a big if. That's basically like me not making a prediction by saying if he gets, you know, if he's able to avoid that left hook, and he wasn't able to do it. He was getting hit with it time and time again. Usually you see fighters, especially if it's early on in the fight and you get hurt, you make an adjustment. I just think Devin was so stunned by that shot. He said he was so surprised, and I think that really shifted his mindset. Especially, you also have to take into account that he got cracked in the first round as well, so I understand that, and you can't help but understand the fact that if you're going into a fight so confident and a guy cracks you like that in the first round, you called him a C fighter, you called him an Instagram user, TikToker, a YouTuber, this and that, and then he goes in there and he cracks you in the first round. I'm sure Devin, you know, immediately, he was definitely overconfident in that fight, but he lost a lot of confidence in the very first round when Ryan Garcia landed that bomb. So I'm excited to see Ryan Garcia, you know, make his next move. I'm excited to see Devin Haney make his next move. We'll see what happens with the New York Athletic Commission. To me, it doesn't even matter anymore. It's just like, in my opinion, you know, I saw what I saw, and no matter what, unfortunately, you know, Ryan did test positive, and he should face repercussions for that. But almost see, you know, Ryan Garcia being able to see what he did to Devin, even if he was on PEDs, he's gonna have a level of confidence and know in the back of his mind, like, I could do this to him again, even if I'm clean. And then you have a guy like Devin, who he's in a difficult position because, like I always say, he's not a big enough puncher to go to 47, but he's having a hard time making 140. So he's gonna have to continue to fight matchups that are stylistically pleasing, like guys like Sandor Martin and guys that are gonna box you, guys like Shakur, where you have a chance of beating them in a 12-round fight, but there's a good chance you're not gonna be able to stop them. But I'm not trying to say that Devin Haney doesn't have KO power at all. It's just it's not in his nature to go for a KO immediately. He's not Tank, he's not Ryan Garcia. It's just not his style, and that's fine. Like, people don't understand that, like, just because you're not a knockout artist doesn't mean you can't be great. Like, you look at guys like Floyd Mayweather, obviously in the pretty boy era, he was knocking guys out like Chico Corrales and, you know, Arturo Gatti. He had those fights, but still, you know, look at the latter end of Floyd's career. He wasn't knocking guys out, but he was still making the most money, and he's probably the most known fighter in the world. So Devin Haney, a lot of people like to say Floyd ruined the sport, this and that, but it doesn't mean that you can't get back on track to start winning again. You can still try to be like Floyd in that, you know, you do everything the right way. You don't take any shortcuts. You fight people that, you know, not you can beat, but like, you're fighting the best out there, but you know you can beat them. That's a mentality, and I think if you possess that, if you're a guy like Devin Haney, you know, that's a great mentality to have. Especially, he needs the best, you know, bounce back mental confidence that he's ever had, because this is when he needs it the most. This is a time when he's gonna have to pick himself up like he's never done before, because this is his first loss, first time being dropped, first time really being, you know, hurt, and just to see everything he went through in that fight, the punishment he took, he's gonna have to pull it out of the fire, pull that confidence out of the fire, and continue to rack up wins against guys that are credible opponents. But honestly, he shouldn't get in there immediately with another big puncher like Ryan Garcia. I don't like the rematch for Devin as soon as he returns. I would like him to get, you know, that mandatory fight in with Sandor Martin, maybe a Shakur fight before that. If you beat Shakur, then you fight Ryan again, and then you could honestly call it a career if you want at a young age. Like, if he wants to move up, he could do that as well. I just think that these fights at 140, you know, between Devin, Haney, guys like Shakur, and then Tank, when Shakur and Tank both move up to 140 eventually, those are such big fights, you know, not to make. So they're too big not to make is what I'm trying to say. So I'd love to see all those fights, but I do think that Devin Haney definitely has a chance against Ryan Garcia. It's all about his mental and how he, you know, approaches the next one. I'd like to see him box more and really try to avoid that left hook and find a plan to negate it. So we'll see what happens with the New York Athletic Commission and ruling whether or not Ryan Garcia will be suspended or not. Most likely facing a suspension, but we'll see what happens, because obviously he's been talking about how it was a contaminated supplement. So we'll see what happens. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, it's been your boy Matt Nabong with Naz Fight Media, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace. That's going to do it for another Naz Fight Media video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been your boy Matt Nabong with another video. Hope you guys enjoyed it all. Thank you guys for the constant support. Salute to y'all always. It's been your boy.